Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up on the news, a seat for the Nebraska legislature continues to be challenged after the election, and a judge could decide today if a recount will be done by hand.
Plus, Nebraska lawmakers speak on the surge of crossings at the southern border and what they think needs to be done.
But first, a blizzard slamming parts of the state, causing whiteout conditions. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us. If you live in the eastern half of the state, pretty much we got rain, clouds, and this afternoon we saw the sun.
Yeah, but just a couple hours away, a completely different story with snow, ice, and a lot of wind. Let's chat with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins for the very latest. Rusty?
Very fascinating. Temperatures in the 50s, lower and middle 50s for eastern Nebraska, and a blizzard and temperatures in the teens in western Nebraska. So it's just one side or the other, just kind of depends on where you're at. The cutoff line, though, is about in the middle where that winter weather advisory is at. Those are the counties shaded in purple. Winter storm warnings just on the other side of that, and blizzard warnings for just about the entire western half of the state. And that's because there is still a lot of snow. You can see the spin in the atmosphere. Low pressure is almost dead center Nebraska. On one side there's sunshine, on the other side dragging down cold air and moisture, and there is a lot of moisture coming down in the form of snow, and there's a lot of wind as well. But not in Beatrice. Schoen's Roofing showing a gorgeous sunset, plenty of clear skies out there, and temperatures which are fairly comfortable. We've got, like I said, 50s earlier. Now it's 45 in Beatrice, 47 in Nebraska City, and then it doesn't take long. You don't have to go far to see much cooler temperatures. 30s for central Nebraska, 20s and teens for the western half of the state. So as we head through tonight in the capital city, temperatures will drop into eventually the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. We'll be around 30 by 6 a.m. and the wind is going to be an issue. It'll be around 30 mile per hour, gusting at 30 miles per hour as we head through tonight and early tomorrow morning. Much colder temperatures are on the way. We're done with the 50s for quite a while. You should see the 10-day forecast. We'll take a look at it in a few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much, Rusty. And several roads are closed right now in the Panhandle for those blizzard conditions.
That includes Interstate 80 from basically North Platte to the Wyoming state line. Here's a look at some of the whiteout conditions. Look at that. The Nebraska State Patrol also reporting several crashes that happened this morning. Thankfully, there were no injuries this morning near Overton, where a semi overturned on I-80.
State troopers recommend to find a place to ride out the storm and check conditions on Nebraska's 511 map. In fact, we have a look at it here for you. You can see everything west of North Platte, again, closed. That's all of the red circles you see on the map. Now, the dark purple that's in eastern Nebraska show where the roads are wet, and that's kind of surrounding the Lincoln area, but we have some green roads as well. That means they are normal. And Nebraska is not alone. Many people in the west are digging out from several feet of snow as others prepare for it to arrive.
And some in America's heartland also dealing with the damage from multiple confirmed tornadoes. ABC's Rena Roy has the very latest.
As millions of Americans brace for severe weather, many others are already assessing the destruction left behind by the same massive storm system affecting the country from coast to coast. The National Weather Service confirming a tornado touched down near Decatur, Texas, tearing the roof off this home and snapping trees in half. A funnel-shaped cloud spotted in Azle.
Oh my God.
And a possible tornado seen through this window in Fort Worth.
That is getting big.
Heavy wind and rain slamming the Lone Star State. Travelers at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport told to take shelter. Nearly 24 states in total under storm alerts. Similar scenes in Oklahoma where people are now surveying the damage after a tornado hit the town of Wayne before sunrise. The National Weather Service preliminarily rating this tornado an EF2 with winds more than 110 miles per hour. Some residents cleaning up what's left of their homes. Piles of debris scattered across neighborhoods. This as people out west dig out nearly 6 feet of snow falling in the Sierra Nevadas. Highways and ski resorts in Lake Tahoe shut down during the peak of the storm. Arizona also dealing with snowy weather along with Utah, where more than 20 people were hurt after this bus rolled off a snowy highway. And the East Coast will be seeing some severe weather later this week. Storms expected on Thursday in Florida, and the I-95 corridor from Washington, D.C. to Boston will have to deal with some heavy rain and strong winds. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A Lincoln legislative race won by more than 200 votes made it today to the court.
Legislative candidate Russ Barger is asking for a recount to be done by hand. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us live in studio with more. Veronica?
The lawsuit comes after a petition for a hand recount was denied by Nebraska Secretary of State. Now the candidates await a Dutch decision. Nebraska legislative candidate Russ Barger appeared Tuesday morning at the Lancaster County District Court asking for the state to recount ballots by hand. Barger, a candidate for the District 26 legislative seat in Lincoln, sued Secretary of State Bob Evnen to force a hand recount in the race. His opponent, George Dungan, won by 224 votes, which is just over the margin needed to require an automatic recount. After the court hearing, Barger was addressed by the media and asked if he trusted Evnen and Lancaster County Commissioner Dave Shively and if they conducted the recount with integrity.
I made no allegation to that effect. We just want the votes counted again.
Barger, who didn't want to go on camera, says both Shively and Evnen were in a tough position.
So the Secretary of State needed to see what a court would say if there's some ambiguity as to these two statutes. It would look very partisan if he would have granted it immediately, I would think.
Barger declined to answer whether he believes there were problems with the vote. Barger's opponent says he believes Nebraska's elections are secure.
I have total confidence that no matter what the outcome of all this is, I will be the senator-elect for LD 26.
Dungan says he is concerned this case can set a precedent,
where anybody who has any issue with any election outcome can come in and claim that this hand recount has to happen.
During the hearing, Judge Kevin McManaman questioned how the case was filed that could lead him to dismiss it. One of Barger's key filings was signed electronically but was not notarized. Barger says if the case is dismissed, he worries he won't be able to refile the case. The judge said he would take the state's motion to dismiss on the technicality. A decision is expected to come soon.
Veronica, thank you very much for keeping us updated on that story tonight. Now we turn to the major surge in migrants in El Paso, Texas. Border Patrol agents say they're already at capacity and there are fears that it could soon get even worse.
Parents tiptoeing through the river, children in tow. Others forced to wait for hours under a border fence. This ahead of next week's possible end to Title 42, which is a Trump-era policy that allows for the immediate expulsion of migrants without allowing them to seek asylum.
We are taking steps to be able to manage the expiration of Title 42 and to put in place a process that will be orderly and humane.
Daily apprehensions now averaging around 2,500 people in the El Paso sector, and that's been over the last few days. And with the surge in migrants at the border, lawmakers across the country and here in Nebraska are responding with what they think should be done.
Republican leaders from Nebraska say restrictions need to be tightened at the border to prevent dangerous people and drugs like fentanyl from coming into our state. Democrats and independents have said that while security is important, the government should be funding more programs that help migrants become citizens and gain asylum.
We need to put in place common sense policies like finishing the border wall, reinstating the Remain in Mexico policies, and enforcing the laws that are already on the books. And the Biden administration needs to be using every tool in the toolbox to unwind the crisis that they've created.
There's clearly desperation of individuals coming to the border because they are being assaulted, their families are being kidnapped, and there's so much violence. And they want, obviously, to come over here for jobs and a better life. So if we had an ability to process applications faster, that would obviously help.
The Biden administration must stop deporting people under the Title 42 policy after it expires next week on December 21st. Now to crime news. A fugitive was arrested this morning who's been on the run for almost a week.
Devon Cagey is in a Jefferson County jail cell. He's facing several drug charges, including with terroristic threats and flight to avoid arrest. The U.S. Marshal Service and Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, they say they located Cagey in Fairbury earlier today. Lincoln streets are getting upgraded thanks to the Lincoln on the Move initiative.
Today, the mayor talked about that initiative and explained how much has been invested into the project.
Through the first 3 years, Lincoln on the Move has invested $42 million into our streets. And what this means is that we have been able to invest over 20% more into our street network in each of the past 3 years.
For years 5 and 6, an estimated $31 million will be invested into Lincoln streets. A member of the Chamber of Commerce said these investments connect more workers to their jobs and help revitalize many neighborhoods. Still to come on the news tonight, the president signs into law the bill protecting same-sex marriage rights.
The latest on that story and your full forecast with Rusty right after the break.
Shake up how you wake up with a bolder breakfast at Taco John.
President Biden just signed a historic marriage equality bill that protects the rights of same-sex and interracial couples under federal law.
The new law requires states to honor all marriages regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin.
Here we go.
As the president signing it late this afternoon, the law will also have protections for religious institutions and does not require states to issue same-sex marriage licenses. The law is a reaction to the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade and Justice Clarence Thomas calling for marriage-related precedents to also be, quote, reconsidered. The bill passed the House and Senate with bipartisan support.
Marriage is a simple proposition. Who do you love? And will you be loyal to that person you love? It's not more complicated than that.
Now, a majority of Republicans did vote against the bill, some calling it unnecessary. Should the Supreme Court ever overturn same-sex marriage, this new law ensures legally married same-sex couples will be protected. Disgraced former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried is attempting to fight extradition to the U.S.
The one-time darling of the cryptocurrency world now under arrest in the Bahamas. The Justice Department announcing a list of charges against him today, including money laundering and wire fraud. He was set to testify remotely before the House Financial Services Committee alongside FTX's new CEO, John Ray. Instead, Ray testified alone. The company, once valued at $32 billion, is now being steered through bankruptcy by Ray, who appeared on Capitol Hill and was blunt in his assessment.
This isn't sophisticated whatsoever. This is just plain old embezzlement. The FTX group's collapse appears to stem from absolute concentration of control in the hands of a small group of grossly inexperienced and unsophisticated individuals.
Ray telling the House Financial Services Committee FTX had few controls that would have protected consumers or investor assets.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
So road conditions first. Everybody in green, just fine. Central, eastern Nebraska, but boy, you don't have to go too far west before you start to run into some problems. Travel not advised, covered, all the way up to impassable. And have family live in this area. Gave them a call earlier today. They're fine. They're just staying at home for they don't know how long because the wind and the snow is really blowing out there. I'll show you that in a second. First, this is what it looks like in Lincoln. Blue sky all over the place. Pleasant. Temperatures in the 50s. This is Southeast Community College Camp at 84th and O Street. 49 degrees. 48 at East Campus, the airport, and Yankee Hill Road, both at 47. So this side of the state just fine, but you go just a little further west and you're running into some 30s and lower 30s. Kearney at 31, 36 though in Grand Island, Hastings, Columbus still at 42. So there's a line right there. Columbus, Friend, Fairbury, 40s. 30s on the other side of that. The wind is still out of the south here. You go further west and it's out of the north. And we're smack dab right in the middle of a storm system, which is going to, just wait till you see this graphic. First, the wind gusts 20 to 30 to 35 miles per hour. This wind is going to continue overnight and into the day tomorrow. And unfortunately, where there's a lot of snow, there is a lot of wind. 38 miles per hour for wind gusts in Scottsbluff, Chadron, 49 miles per hour in McCook. And here's where the snow is at. Where in McCook, there's almost 50 mile per hour wind gusts and snow. Here's the center right here, and on the cold side of this, dragging down cold air, turning everything into snow, and a lot of wind going on. I'm going to zoom way out. I hardly ever do this, but look at this thing. Center's right there, and it just all the way down, and then on the very southern fringe of this is there's tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. Just an impressive looking comma shape to this storm, just classic case. Cold air and blizzards on one side, severe weather on the other side. We're right in the middle of it. And Stormcast has that low pressure center just to our north and east as we head through the overnight. Blizzard on one side, just quiet over here. Windy, sure, but then cold air funnels in as everything kind of progresses to the south and east. The blizzard will eventually kind of fizzle out as we head towards noon on Wednesday. Still out there, still a lot of wind, but it starts to subside, and then everything kind of progresses its way to the east. A few flurries and snow showers going to be possible as we head through Wednesday night into Thursday for central and eastern Nebraska. This won't amount to much. We won't see accumulating snowfall, but a snow shower, a flurry going to be possible as we head through Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. Still looking at total snowfall. This still seems about right, about less than an inch for most of us, 1 to 2, 2 to 4. But the further west you go, you're talking a foot to maybe more of snowfall in the panhandle. Here's all the wind for the forecast still. Through noon on Wednesday, 40 to 50 to maybe even 60 mile per hour wind gusts by noon on Wednesday. And with all that snow on the ground, blizzard warning is maybe too light of a terminology. So it's just going to be a mess in the western half of the state for several days. Temperatures tonight in central and eastern Nebraska in the 20s, partly cloudy, breezy, 26 in Lincoln, southwest wind at 10 to 25 miles per hour. Cool night, and it'll lead to a cool day tomorrow. It's been a while since we've seen temperatures this cold. Today was 53 in Lincoln. We'll be 36 tomorrow, 35 in Seward, 34 York, a little much cooler actually the further west you go, but a couple of flurries, a couple of snow showers, otherwise partly to mostly cloudy skies, and that west wind at 10 to 25 miles per hour. So things are going to change, and they will continue to change. Look how far down we go, looking at single digits to around 0 for low temperatures as we get past the weekend and into next week. Just a few flurries or light snow showers Wednesday and Thursday. Dry as we head through the weekend and into the first part of next week. A couple of snow showers possible again next week. But look at those cold temperatures rolling in. We'll see teens for highs next week and overnight low temperatures 0 or below. So winter has decided to show up and stick around for a while.
You know, Rusty, I know it's not unheard of, but to see the difference between eastern Nebraska and western, day and night, right?
It really is, and they're going to be digging out for quite a while. And here we got over a ½ an inch of rain last night, so that was much needed.
Absolutely. All right, thank you very much, Rusty. A positive day on Wall Street today as well. The Dow gaining 104 points. NASDAQ is up 113. S&P is adding 29. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
A little girl receives a pet license with a magical twist. Also, 300 Santas suit up to raise money.
Jeremy Roth has more in tonight's Take a Look at This.
When it comes to wish lists and animals, there are the usual requests: puppies, kittens, horses, and so forth. But one little girl in Los Angeles has her sights set on something a little more magical. 6-year-old Madeline wants a unicorn. And being a rule follower, she wrote the County of Los Angeles asking for permission to own the mythical beast. If she can find one, that is. The county immediately sent an official unicorn license, applauding Madeline's responsible pet ownership. The county also sent her a stuffed unicorn while she continues her search, which is nice because if there's one thing we learned from The Office, finding a unicorn doll during the holiday season can be tricky.
Oh, hey, is that Princess Unicorn? I thought they were all sold out.
They are now.
Cool. My horn can pierce the sky.
Continuing the holiday hoopla, Sunday River Resort in Newry, Maine held their 22nd annual Santa Sunday this past weekend. A favorite of skiing and Kris Kringle enthusiasts, hundreds of Santas hit the slopes to raise money for a local nonprofit. Apparently the generosity was enough to make the Grinch's heart grow 3 sizes because he was seen getting in on the action too. And hark, if you listen closely, you can almost hear Mrs. Claus yelling, "If you break your neck, don't expect me to deliver your presents." Yes, Mrs. Claus is from Brooklyn. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Got to admit, he puts a smile on your face, doesn't he?
He does great accents.
Finally tonight, a house in Gretna, Virginia is a must-see this holiday season. Check out how it's decorated with more than 30,000 Christmas lights. Mike Clay said he put the lights up himself. He said he was inspired to go all out for the holidays after watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
And by his parents, who used to take him to see Christmas lights around the neighborhood when he was a kid. Clay says it now brings him so much joy to hear excited children stopping by to see his lights. Now, in case you're wondering about his power bill, Clay says it goes up about $100 a month while the lights are up, but he says to him, it's worth it.
All right, let's get a final check of the weather. Blizzard out west. Here, not bad.
Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell, too. Look at this. Western half of the state, tons of snow, tons of wind. And then you get into central and eastern Nebraska and really not a whole lot going on. All of that will try to make its way east, but as it does, it kind of fizzles out a little bit. But a few snow showers going to be possible on and off throughout the next couple of days. Temperatures start to plummet as we head towards the weekend.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for joining us.
World News with David Muir is up next. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
The spas are here. Truckloads of spas arriving weekly. Hurry in today. These spas are going fast. Spas are in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
Supreme Spa and Pool.